Alrighty then.
Alrighty
Okay. My name is Andrea. It is true that I'm a writer. And it's true that this part of my life, I decided that what I wanted was a writer's life. And so what I am doing is writing, and I'm serving writers. Classes and workshops and all that kind of stuff. But that's me. I want you to remember all of the energy so far, especially this last energy here. Okay? Take that, divide it multiply it times 10, and you maybe have an idea of the energy level, the spiritual level, the sexual level, the intellect, the service, the activism of an Audre Lorde. I met Audre in 1979 in Austin, Texas. She was teaching, writing along with Adrienne Rich, Meredith Lesueur. Think about it. You're a writer. You're an aspiring writer. In your first writing workshop, Adrienne Rich, Meredith Lesueur, and Audre Lorde. This was Audre's first teaching, leaving home after she had had a mastectomy. She had breast cancer. 6 months later, she was out working. 6 months later, I was fired from my job. I worked for the Louisiana Bureau for Women because I said in a staff meeting that I was Black lesbian feminist. Yes. I sued. ACL helped me sue. And I went around the country with a woman whose name is Kendall, raising funds because it's the ACLU, they didn't have a lot of money. And how I did that was through a really deep connection of feminist bookstores, feminist organizations, and through writers and people like Adrienne and Audre. For that next year, you know, as writers, I don't know this yet because I don't get the writer's checks yet, but Audre would speak or read at a place like Stanford, and they would give her, not the honorarium, but her expense check. For a year, she sent me her expense checks to help to go to the ACL. Audre described herself most as a radical Black lesbian warrior poet. Warrior is an operative word here. Audre came from the Caribbean. She was the darkest in her family. We talked about race and racism and internalized racism and what we did a lot. It was a 12-year conversation. We probably could have talked to this day if she still lived. Audre says that she saw her death wish in the faces of the people as she rode the subways of New York. What that did to Audre was it made her mad. Yay. She was rageful. She was a rageful woman. She was a mad woman. She funneled her anger into her work, in a life, into giving, into activism, into connecting people. Everywhere she went, she always made sure that the local writers read with her. Always. When she came to the Bay Area, the people that she loved deepest and best, Blackberri, who's here, and Pat Parker, who's not. She never read without them. She went to Germany. I met her in New York to say goodbye. We thought she was dying. She was going to Germany. And while she was there, she met up with medicine that helped her live another 8 years. Yeah. While she was in Germany, she helped curate Afro-German lesbian community. while she did all of that, she also helped Aché. 92, 2 years before she died, she wrote this letter to Aché. Now, of course, I'm old-fashioned, and I printed it out. And did I remember it? No. And now, do I have to read it off this tiny phone? Yes, I do. It won't go sideways anymore. It's so old. So I'm going to read part of this letter. It's to Lisbet. Dear Lisbet, I want to congratulate you and the other women of Aché on your continuing and widening presence in the world. I am here in West Berlin for medical reasons and for readings. And I am overjoyed to hear that you and the Aché women are coming later this summer. So she goes on, she's connecting. She says, connect to this one, do this, do that. This is how this is gonna work. I'm doing everything on my end to make sure that this works. Aché women in Berlin, come on. They're making it happen. Later she says, if there is anything at all, Lisbet, I can do to make the trip fuller or more possible for the Aché women, either while I am here in Berlin or after I return home on June 6th, please don't hesitate to call me. I am so pleased to hear about these contacts being made. It is what I dreamed of must happen when I wrote A Burst of Light. You all have so much to say and to learn from each other. Wonderful, wonderful. I will be here in Berlin until May 31st, unless my test indicates otherwise. After June 6th, you can reach me at home in St. Croix. You cannot count how many letters that she wrote like this, but the point was to lift each other up, to connect each other. Okay, one last note. I got 1 minute. One last note about Audrey. She was angry, but she was brilliant. I don't mean brilliant intellectually, although she was. She wrote the book, Burst of Light. She was a burst of light. Okay? And she liked women. All women. Didn't matter. She thought she was cute and you were hot. She was on you. It's true. She loved life. She loved us. Yes. I loved her. I still do and miss her. Hold the light. I mean, we have that light for each other, in each other. Connect, stay connected, help each other, support each other, support Aché. Thank you. Yeah.